Right, now we're going to try to make a better presentation of this document we've created using the structure tag so far, and we're going to use CSS to control the layout and possibly presentation of this document, so at least it looks like this. So before we start, we need to understand something called a box model. You will probably need to do a little bit more reading up in this topic, the CSS box model. In brief, what it means is any content which is linked to a CSS is represented as a box model, meaning that the content can have a padding around it. Okay, a content can have a border around it. Okay, can you see as this image is shown? And then also apply a margin around this element. Margin is outside the information, padding is inside element. The best method I would probably advise you is to do some research on what is CSS box model, so that you can get some basic idea what is done. Okay, now before we start, we also need to understand the width element of your CSS code and of your page. Now realistically, not everyone has got nice widescreen as I have, and as you probably have at home or in college. The standard screen size which we started ages ago was 800 wide, so the size from here to here, it used to be 800 pixel wide. But however, now most people have got more than 1000 or pixel wide screens, so that way it fits in nicely. So we're going to work around 1000 pixel as well. So we presume that the width we want from the starting of on the left hand side to the right hand side is 1000 pixel. So let's start the code and start working with the header tag element. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, now we're not going to work with style at the moment, so I'm going to change this style into layout, because it makes sense that I'm going to create a CSS page called layout that will contain additional codes that configures this web page layout. In order to do this, save this page. I'm going to create a new document and I'm going to save it as layout.css. Okay, it's not HTML. CSS is saved as .css file, and I'm going to save inside the London College folder next to the index file. Okay, so in here, so the file is linked. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is control this header and give it a width of 1000 pixel, so that we know that this is the area we're working on. So if I go to CSS, the first thing I need to do is call in the header tag. So I type in HEADER. Okay, now this CSS language is slightly different than HTML, so you need to follow my guide. I open a curly bracket and close a curly bracket. What this means is anything which is written in here is represented by header, which controls the header of the HTML file which is linked to the CSS layout page. So first thing I want to do is I want to set the width. So I'm press tab in there so everything stays in format. Type in width and the measurements I said we're going to use is 1000 px, and we end the statement. Okay, Control S, press F5, refresh this page. We can't see nothing. Now in order to see if it's working, let me just see if I can put the border around it. Border colon, I'm going to put it 1 pixel, 1 px solid, and end statement. Control S if it works. If I've done this correctly, it should work. Can you see that? Now if I make the browser bigger, see, can you see if I make this browser bigger, the size from here to here is 1000 pixel. Okay, okay, so I got the width in there. Now can you see, because it's touching straight into the line, I just need to move this heading slightly inside. So I'm going to give it a padding of 5px, end statement. Now you need to understand there's different ways of writing the measurements of padding, margin and things like that. The way it works is, if you write padding and one measurement in pixel, what it does is it's going to put padding around the text from top, right, bottom and left. So for example, it's very hard to see at the moment, but that's what it's going to do. So if I quickly save this and refresh the page, can you see that the box has gone bigger? So what has happened is it's created 5 pixels at the top, 5 pixels at the bottom and 5 from there. But if I change that to say 10, so again it's going to move in and everything is going to get bigger. So quickly press save, press F5. Can you see? But if I don't want this box to get taller, the width, but I want to move this inside, this is the trick we do. I put 0px, then I put 0px, then I put 0px again, and the final one I put 10px. What this means is I want padding at the top to be 0, which is up here, padding on the right, which is around here, because this doesn't even matter anyway, so it's 0 pixel. The third one is the padding at the bottom, and the fourth one is padding on the right. So if I quickly save this, and you will see the difference what's happening there. Oops, press refresh. Can you see that? So the padding is there, but it didn't do the padding at the top. So if I change this 10 to say 30, you will see it will only move towards the right. So I'll quickly save that and refresh. Can you see that? Cool. So next thing I want to control is the navigation. So if I look at here, the next part, the tag is called nav. I'll come down here and do the same thing. Type in nav, open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Inside there, because we're continuing with this same focus, the border is going to be same. I'm not pretty much interested in the padding, but I'm just going to copy that to make my life easier and paste it there. So if I save it there and come to the web page, refresh, and can you see what it has done? Yep, cool. But however, there is a problem. If I maximize it, can you see it has gone out, the top one? This is the 1000 pixel, the top one has gone out. Now the problem has happened is because we have added the padding on the left to be 10 pixel. So what it has done is automatically added the 10 pixel into the 1000 pixel, and making this box no longer 1000 pixel, it is made into 1010. on top of that, it is also adding the border line. We got 1 pixel here and 1 pixel there, so it's no longer 1010, it's 1012. So in order to make things easier, we're going to use background color, so that way it doesn't mess anything up, the borders. So instead of taking the border, we're going to use background color. So we say background dash color, I think is correct. Yep, background color, and I'm going to say yellow for time being. Okay, control S that, press F5, and if you notice, see what has it done. Okay, and let me just, if I take the background color, I'll just put color, save that, F5. Okay, the color changes the information inside, so it's going to be background dash color. Okay, F5. So I'm going to do the same thing here, Control C, and paste it in over the border. Instead of yellow, I'm just going to say pink for time being. Okay, but if you notice, you will see there's a gap there. Okay, and also because of the padding, it's no longer, we need to control the padding part as well, so we need to say -10. So instead of 1000 for the top one, we need to reduce it by 10, so it's no longer 1000, it's going to be 990, and quickly save that, press F5, and hopefully it should be, did I save it with, oh no, because we're using 30, sorry, not 10, so you have to minus 1000 by 30, so it's going to be 70. Save that, select mathematics to be included in here, and you will see it will end up in the same line. Okay, now we got this white line between these two, so we need to get rid of that as well. And I think if we put in here float left, because we're trying to say that the next element, the navigation, should always be forced to the left hand side. Hopefully that should clear it out, otherwise I need to go and research why this is not working. If we can put that inside here, save it and refresh, and as you can see, it sorted that problem out. Okay, now we got navigation, and the next thing we need to do is put the section element. And again, all we have to do is same thing. I'm just going to copy this and paste it, change this navigation into the next tag, which is the section. And if I just write in here information, so you should be able to see on the web page, and change this into section, and instead of pink, I just put in here simple other color would be green. Save it and press F5, and if you see, you thinking that it's same size as this, how comes it's not the size of this? What you need to understand is when the information is going to be added inside the section tag, the page will automatically grow, and we'll see in the next tutorial as well, because in the next tutorial we're going to start looking at how to display information in there and things like that. Okay, and if you look at it, is ending in the same line. And then finally we just copy paste the same thing again, Control V, and the last element we want to bring in is the footer. I'll put yellow in there. Save and refresh, and can you see it's picked up same as the header and yellow color header and the footer. Now this part here, if you want to put in center, you can put in center, but at the moment I'm not really worried about it. But as long as you can see and imagine that what we've just done here using the CSS, which is linked inside the index.html page, which is actually controlling how to display the information, the layout itself. This concludes the basic layout tutorial. Thank you.